Record. Okay. Aloha. It is launch day. I realized that I've been, I'm really proud of myself for sitting down and recording, but I've been kind of like turning on this DJI camera that we have that's fun, and then having a Zoom camera, and the angles are kind of funky, but I'm not going to judge it. But today, here it is, the Āina that is Lāhainā. I am fresh off of a beach sunset meeting up with Tiara Kobayashi Bautista, the one and only artist that I got the divine nudge to reach out to back in December. And she and I have been breathing the ha breath of life together reverently into every detail, every exquisite word and page and purpose that we dreamed and reverently chose to flow into this story so that it can honor Lahaina, it can offer an invitation to be part of the nonlinear healing path forward for people, those on island of Maui and those well beyond the reef. And it's told from the perspective of the banyan tree and all of its leafy aloha, and it being an international ambassador of aloha on Front Street. I wanted to speak more to this book and what makes it so special and powerful for me. I am a writer. I always have been since I was a little girl. It's the way I express myself the best. It's part of the best version of me, and showing up for humanity and shining out of my gifts is utilizing words of affirmation, writing, and dropping into that creative flow. When the wildfire tragedy occurred last August 8th, 2023, was off island at the time for a family wedding in Washington State. And I remember, 2 days before, we had been on island having Camden's 7th birthday party and having super windy that day. I had a mermaid tea party at the beach set up for her. Super cute and whimsical, but like, alas, all the beach parasols and the balloons and all the paper plates and things were flying everywhere. The arts and crafts. We had to get pretty creative quickly. I also didn't have a knife for the cake, and so my friend got her fishing knife. But anyways, that was a sign to come of just the winds had been picking up even 2 days before. And seeing the news coming out of our home island and out of Lahaina was unfathomable. Like, the level, the degree of destruction, the magnitude of this tragedy, it was unthinkable. And just the inflammation of the images that were coming out, and just trying to get a grasp on exactly what was happening, and the grief that the community was feeling, the loss, the destruction, the desolation, the utter destruction. Yeah, unfathomable, unthinkable. And so I jumped into like trauma counseling mode for those that I knew, and calling upon my skills as a healer and a physician, and also knowing that I would want to write a story to honor Lahaina. Um, and when we came back on island, I was able to serve Hapai expectant mamas from Lahaina, who, were growing these miracles of aloha within, even as the uncertainty grew of what would happen after baby came. Where would they live? What would life look like? And that juxtaposition there. And it was powerful, hearing their stories and holding space for their stories, listening to the stories of our neighbors. Our next door neighbor's garage turned into a hub overnight. People were shopping for all kinds of things in her garage, and our church turned into a major hub for months. And it was just really inspiring seeing the acts of aloha that were deployed overnight to utilize mostly water as the medium to transport necessary items, food, clothing, medicine, water, gas, diapers, formula, to the west side. And in as often with the creative process, I had to go into the deep quiet and really just assimilate the pain, the purpose that people of Lahaina were choosing through this tragedy, the trauma and the triumph through that trauma and the resilience through it all. And one night when I was putting Cruz to bed, my son, the words came pouring out of me like a hula mele, and the oli, like the chant and I just surrendered to it and wrote down these words. And so that is it. That is this book, the Āina, that is Lāhainā. And I sat on the words and I researched Olelo Hawaii, Hawaiian, Native Hawaiian terms that have become part of my everyday language lava flow that I wanted to incorporate into the lyrics. It's kind of a mele, kind of a song. To show my kuleana responsibility for learning the Hawaiian language and to invite others into the beauty that is the Hawaiian language when reading this book. And some of the cultural values in the Hawaiian culture that have really been on profound display to me through the recovery efforts in Lāhainā and in my experience living in Hawaii for the past decade and getting to serve here as a pediatrician and live here as a mama. And I reached out to Tiara in early December after having really marinated on finding a Maui-based artist that would breathe life into this story with me, that would believe in it and want to give back to our community and to invite people and to create a piece of art that commemorates and celebrates Lāhainā as she was and as she will be in her new glory. And also to be willing to go through the kaleidoscope of emotions that it would take to revisit the trauma and tell it in a way that could be keiki friendly, child friendly, but also honoring of what pain and grief exists. And we've done that. We have past 9 months really incubated this story together and reverently paddled out page by page into all of the aspects of this story, told it from various perspectives of the banyan tree, which, you know, when I wrote the story, I had no indication of whether the banyan tree would or wouldn't survive from its scorched status after the wildfire. It is showing promising signs. But it's something that always captivated and fascinated me. And through consulting friends and colleagues of Native Hawaiian ancestry, I learned that the banyan tree is not native to Lāhainā, and that was a really important distinction in ensuring historical accuracy for this book. And much like many of us who have visited Lāhainā and made core memories on Front Street, the banyan tree also has been accepted, you know, into the landscape of Hawaii, although it is not native to this illustrious place. And so told it from that perspective of how it has come to watch Lahaina be the seat of power within the kingdom of Hawaii, and how it was once lush in the Venice of Hawaii with abundant waterways flowing and vibrant kalo taro fields where you can derive like kalo and then poi, which is a staple of Hawaiian cuisine. And what a glorious gem of a city, right on the harbor and situated on in Maui, West Maui, where you can wave high to the neighboring islands of Molokai and Lanai. And it feels so reverent. I feel grounded in the whole process, wanting to be extremely mindful to Hawaiian culture and to offer this book as a literary tea leaf lei, like placed upon Lahaina as an act of aloha from me as the author and a chosen daughter of the Āina, kama Āina, as we say, not of Native Hawaiian ancestry, but of someone who lives here and is grateful for the opportunity to continue learning and to continue growing and to continue my kuleana, my responsibility in that way. And to be able to have portions of the proceeds of the book be intentionally planted back into Lahaina in its revitalization efforts in the ongoing nonlinear healing path forward that will be for many years to come as Lahaina emerges in a new glory, and we will all be able to be the branches for that. And so I created the book with a community in mind, wanted to create a cohesive online presence for people here on island and people well beyond the reef who choose to partner with Lahaina, who choose to pack their aloha when they visit Maui, or if they cannot visit Maui, send their aloha and be the branches. And there's many ways to do that. I think reading the book is a great invitation in. And also, I've compiled a list of resources that's going to be on the book website, and I'm open to more as people from the community reach out. By no means is it an exhaustive list, as there are a myriad of amazing resources ongoing. But this was a powerful process for me as an artist, as an author, and reaching out to Tiara and following that divine nudge and really diving into this with her, and then in designing the book and editing the book, and now self-publishing it. So it is surfing out into the wild today. It is meant to land however it will. And I pray that it accomplishes its goals of being reverent to Lahaina, to Hawaiian culture, to Alela Hawaii, and to what surged from my soul that day when I first wrote down the Malay lyrics of this story. So the Āina that is Lahaina is the story of fire, wind, and sea, and the words yet unwritten by the banyan tree. And it feels so incredibly expansive to be able to share this today, and to send it off with a shaka and a prayer, and to be able to do my part to be the branches in moving forward. So aloha.